Hi guys! Glad to see you again on my Video Games channel. In this video, the gameplay of 3 games. The first Merge Alphabet 2D Fusion Fight game. The second game of Alphabet Lore but transformed. And the third game is Alphabet Run Letter Go. Also in the description of the video you will find links to the playlists of these games, go and watch. Today, I will tell you 4 new interesting stories about the letters of the alphabet, don't switch. And before I start telling the first story, I want to ask you to subscribe to the channel and like this video. I'll be back in 1 minute. Enjoy watching. Well, how are you not bored? Now I will tell you an interesting story about the letter E. I hope you managed to subscribe and like it. Let's go! Once upon a time, there was a letter named E, who lived in the alphabet world. E was the most common letter and was used more than any other letter in the alphabet. E was proud of its popularity and always boasted about it to the other letters. One day, while E was feeling especially boastful, it challenged the other letters to a race. The challenge was simple: whichever letter was used the most in a single day would be crowned the champion of the alphabet. The other letters were skeptical at first, but he was so confident that they agreed to the challenge. The race began and he started off strong, being used in countless words. However, as the day went on, he began to tire and make mistakes. Meanwhile, some of the less popular letters, like X and Z, were sneaking up and being used more and more. He soon realized that popularity wasn't everything and that every letter had its own special purpose. It also realized that by working together with the other letters, it could create even more meaningful words. In the end, the winner of the race turned out to be the letter S, which was used in countless plurals and possessives. He was initially disappointed, but it was happy to have learned a valuable lesson about the importance of teamwork and the value of every letter, no matter how common or uncommon it may be. From that day on, E and the other letters worked together in harmony, creating countless words and stories that would inspire and entertain generations to come. And E was happy to play its part, always being a proud and humble member of the alphabet. Write in the comments if you liked this story. I'll be back in a few minutes and tell you a story about the letter F, but for now enjoy the gameplay.
Guys, I'm with you again and I'm ready to tell the story about the letter F.
Let's go! Once upon a time, in a far-off kingdom, there lived a young girl named Fiona. Fiona was an adventurous and curious girl, always eager to explore the world around her. One day, as she was wandering through the forest near her village, she stumbled upon a mysterious letter F. It was a bright and shiny letter, unlike anything she had ever seen before. Intrigued, Fiona picked up the letter and decided to take it back to her village to show to the others. However, as soon as she picked up the letter, she was suddenly transported to a strange and magical place. In this place, Fiona learned that the letter F was actually the key to an ancient and powerful magic. As she explored this magical land, Fiona discovered that the letter F stood for fulfillment and that whoever possessed it was destined to fulfill their greatest desires. However, she also learned that the letter was being sought after by a powerful evil wizard who wished to use its magic for his own evil purposes. Determined to keep the letter out of the hands of the evil wizard, Fiona set out on a journey to find a safe place to hide the letter. Along the way, she encountered many challenges and obstacles, but with the help of her friends, she was able to overcome them all. Finally, after many long weeks of travel, Fiona arrived at the kingdom of the Wise Wizard. The Wise Wizard was known throughout the land as the only person who could protect the letter F from the evil wizard. Fiona explained her quest to the Wise Wizard, and he agreed to take the letter and keep it safe. With the letter F finally in safe hands, Fiona returned to her village, where she lived happily ever after. From that day forward, she was known as the brave and adventurous girl who had discovered the power of the letter F. And even though she never fulfilled her own desires, she was content knowing that she had fulfilled her purpose in life by protecting the magic of the letter for future generations. Write in the comments if you liked this story. I'll be back in a few minutes and tell you a story about the letter G, but for now enjoy the gameplay. Guys, I'm with you again and I'm ready to tell the story about the letter G. Let's go! Once upon a time, there was a small kingdom called the Land of G. The Land of G was known for its unique currency system, which used only the letter G as money. The people of the Land of G valued the letter highly and considered it to be a symbol of their wealth and prosperity. One day, a cunning thief named Gustavo snuck into the royal treasury and stole all the GS, plunging the kingdom into financial ruin. The king of the Land of G offered a hefty reward to anyone who could retrieve the stolen letters and restore the kingdom's wealth. A brave young man named George decided to take on the challenge. George had always been fascinated by the letter G, and he saw this as an opportunity to prove his bravery and bring glory to the kingdom. He set out on a perilous journey, facing countless dangers and overcoming numerous obstacles in his quest to recover the stolen GS. Along the way, George met a wise old sage who taught him the true value of the letter G. The sage told George that the G was not just a symbol of wealth, but of growth, generosity, and grace. Armed with this knowledge, George continued on his quest with newfound determination. Finally, after many trials and tribulations, George reached Gustavo's lair and confronted the thief in a fierce battle. With all his cunning and skill, George emerged victorious and retrieved the stolen GS. He returned to the kingdom as a hero, and the king of the land of G was overjoyed to see the return of the precious letters. The kingdom's wealth was restored, and the people once again had reason to be proud of their unique currency system. From that day on, George was known as the greatest hero of the land of G, and the letter G was celebrated as a symbol of bravery, wisdom, and the pursuit of a greater good. And whenever anyone in the kingdom heard the letter's name, they would remember the brave young man who had saved their kingdom and restored the value of their most precious currency. Write in the comments if you liked this story. I'll be back in a few minutes and tell you a story about the letter H, but for now enjoy the gameplay. Well, are you ready to listen to the story about the letter H? Let's go! Once upon a time, in a magical kingdom called Alphabetica, the letter H was known to be the most elusive and mysterious letter of all. Despite its importance in creating words and language, no one had ever seen H in its true form. It was said that H lived in hiding, only appearing in words when absolutely necessary. One day, a young girl named Hannah became determined to find the truth about H. She had always been fascinated by language and wanted to uncover its secrets. Hannah set out on a journey to find H, determined to finally see it in its true form. As she traveled through the kingdom, she met many letters along the way who offered their help, but none of them had seen H. Just when Hannah was about to give up hope, she stumbled upon a hidden cave in a remote part of the kingdom. The entrance was guarded by two fierce dragons, but Hannah bravely approached them and asked for their help in finding H. To her surprise, the dragons transformed into two kind-hearted creatures who had been tasked with guarding H by the king of Alphabetica himself. They told Hannah that H was in hiding because it was the most important letter of all, and it was feared that others might try to use its power for evil. With the help of the dragons, Hannah finally discovered H, who was indeed the most beautiful and magnificent letter she had ever seen. H was grateful for Hannah's bravery and offered to bestow upon her a special gift, the ability to create new words simply by speaking them into existence. From that day forward, Hannah used her gift to bring new ideas and creativity to the kingdom of Alphabetica, and H was no longer a mystery but was celebrated and revered as the most important letter of all. And so, the story of Hannah and H became a tale that was passed down through generations in Alphabetica, inspiring others to seek out the beauty and power of language. Write in the comments which story you liked the most. I will be very pleased to receive feedback from you. See you in new videos. I'm not saying goodbye to you, but I'm just saying for now.